Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I'm doing fine. Kisumu is also fine. The weather is fantastic. Maybe you could let me know where you are watching the video from. The Deputy President Party, the United Democratic Alliance Party, today suffered a major blow. Kipruto Kirwa, who is the national vice chairperson of UDA party, officially dumped UDA party and joined Raila Odinga's camp during a public rally in Bungoma. That move by Kipruto Kirwa, in my view, is significant politically speaking for several reasons. Number one, the mere fact that Kipruto Kirwa is the vice chairperson of UDA party will add value, what I normally call on this platform perceptual value, to Raila Odinga's Azimio la Umoja movement or coalition. The truth of the matter is that politics is a game of numbers, perceived or real. And politics is also a perceptual game. Many people will ask themselves, why is Kipruto Kirwa defecting from UDA at this point in time? So it's going to add that perceptual value to Raila Odinga. Number two, Kipruto Kirwa comes from the larger Rift Valley. What is happening? What is happening? That's the question. Gideon Moi will now have another dependable player in the name of Kipruto Kirwa. I don't know the other people who are lined up to defect at this point in time, especially other counties. But based on the defection of Kipruto Kirwa, I tend to think that others are going to come. Kirwa is saying that he's defecting, is decamping from William Ruto's camp because there's no democracy in that party, and that the party is being run like a kiosk, and that number two, the choice of Rigathi Gachagua forced him to resign. So I think the fact that he comes from Rift Valley is also significant. Number three is experience. Kipruto Kirwa served as a member of parliament for Chirangani for 4 terms, that is 20 good years. He was the first agriculture minister when Mwai Kibaki took over. He's credited for being the best agriculture minister in the history of this country up to this stage. So which means when it comes to experience, there's a political experience which is actually bringing to the table on this other side. And lastly, the fact that he's a former cabinet secretary, a former cabinet minister, it means he also understands the operation of government. So I want you to listen to Kipruto Kirwa very briefly, because in this video, I want us to look at the political implication of his defection today.
Mimi Kipruto Kirwa nimejiuzulu kama mwenyekiti msaidizi wa chama cha UDA. Na nimejiuzulu kwa maana nimeona demokrasia inaenda kupambuka kama tutaruhusu kuwa upande ule mwingine. Na nyinyi mnajua sheria za Kenya ni 50% plus 1 vote. Ndio nikasema hiyo kura yangu moja nitarudisha upande wa baba. Kwa hiyo niko hapa kwa hiyo mnajili. Asanteni, waje nione wala ambao watapigia kura upande ya baba. Asanteni, sitaki kuongeza mengi.
Now, that's Kipruto Kirwa. And the question which I'm asking myself, why would this gentleman, a man who was serving as the national vice chairperson of UDA party, a man who the deputy president entrusted to checkmate Johnson Muthama, would dump William Ruto at this hour in time? Why? In my view, several reasons. But before we get into those reasons, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two and click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue to thank you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Now, let us go straight to the point. Why do you think Kipruto Kirwa has finally decided to dump Ruto. Number one is Rigathi Gachagwa's nomination. I've always opined on this platform that the choice of a running mate is so dear to the presidential candidates. I've always given several reasons. One of them is that a running mate should be able to help the candidate campaign in absence of the presidential candidate. Of course, Rigathi Gachagua is able to campaign. We've seen him campaigning minus William Ruto. Of course, Martha Karua is campaigning minus Raila Odinga. A running mate should be able to attract funding. Rigathi Gachagua cannot attract funding. I don't think there is anybody who can pump money in UDA because of Rigathi Gachagua. For Martha Karua, women folks will pump money. The reform team will pump money. The other advantage of a good running mate is that he should be able to complement the weaknesses of the other. So William Ruto and even Raila Odinga, both of them, they have their weaknesses. But if you look at Ruto, his personality and the personality of Rigathi Gachagua, I don't think there's anything which Rigathi can cover for Ruto. The person who should have covered for Ruto so well would have been Kithure Kindiki based on his character. But the nomination of Rigathi Gachagua is actually proving to be hell for William Ruto. So the fact that Kipruto Kirwa mentioned Rigathi Gachagua means he's the main reason why he's defecting. Probably he had hoped that Ruto would get maybe a clean in course, because there's no clean politician in this country. You would get a bit of clean politician as a running mate. So the truth of the matter is that Kipruto Kirwa now becomes the first high-profile politician to dump Ruto because of Rigathi Gachagua. I know in the civil society, there are many people who have dumped William Ruto just because of the fact that Raila Odinga nominated Martha Karua. So many in the civil society. I can mention them here, but I don't want to mention them. Let me just mention the name of Boniface Mwangi, who is currently supporting Martha Karua, supporting Raila Odinga because Martha Karua is the running mate. I know several of them who were previously willing to support Ruto. So the truth is, the choice of Rigathi Gachagua is going to affect Ruto in a very big way. I know he's doing a lot of management to manage fallout, but even if you read the papers in this country, you listen to radio stations, even within the UDA party, there's a problem there because of that choice. Number two, I think Kipruto Kirwa looked around and figured out where he could fit. If you look at the history of Kipruto Kirwa, you'll agree that the man is actually reform-oriented. He fought with Moi at some point. When he was appointed a cabinet, assistant minister, he formed UDM. You know, he's a gentleman who has that habit of being a reformist. And you know, in this country, there's now attempt to draw a line between William Ruto and Raila Odinga in terms of reform credentials. So I think it's fitting more now on Raila Odinga's side than on William Ruto's side. I think the fact that Rigathi Gachagua served as a DC, what he did to people, some people cannot reconcile with the fact that now he's the William Ruto's running mate. So I think the reform credentials he has will only serve him in or on this other side. And number three, I tend to think that probably Kipruto Kirwa, having served as a cabinet secretary, as a cabinet minister in this country, and having served for 20 years as a member of parliament, there are certain things he understands. And one of the things I think he understands is the winning side. So probably he's been told that Raila Odinga is likely to be declared the president. You know, there's normally the intelligence. Maybe he has access to some intelligence reports that Raila Odinga is going to be declared the president-elect of the Republic of Kenya. So the best thing for him to do is to position himself right now. Because let's assume that Raila Odinga were to win the presidency, then Kipruto Kirwa stands a better chance of being appointed a cabinet secretary, for example, in Raila Odinga's government, than he would stand on the other side. And you know, politics is a game of interest, and those interests are normally personal. So Kipruto Kirwa probably looked at, maybe he was given an offer, but looked at UDA and Azimio. Where can I benefit from? The truth is, he has looked at the possibility of Raila Odinga becoming the president. And that's what informed his decision to move. Number 4, in my view, I think it's also about the Kibaki era. I think what Raila Odinga and Karawa are trying to do is that they are trying to bring together those who are with Mwai Kibaki. That's the honest truth. They are trying to bring back that memory of NAK into the equation. Remember, at some point, William Ruto tried to create kind of Mwai Kibaki kind of era by appointing people who worked with Kibaki as his economic advisors. I don't know where that ended, but what I'm seeing now with the entry of Martha Karua and Raila Odinga as a ticket, there's a potential of this gentleman and lady trying to reach out to their former colleagues. And that's where I'm seeing Kipruto Kirwa coming in. Several others who worked with Kibaki are likely to join. And number 5, maybe, just the way he said, that is also being undermined in Kenya Kwanza. That in Kenya Kwanza, you don't have a voice. The deputy president would call you and tell you, do this, do this, do this, and that's what is done. Your opinion, go and offer that opinion to someone else. So I think he felt that he's being undermined. Of course, Kipruto Kirwa is rebellious, is a rebel by nature. And because he's a rebel by nature, probably there are certain things he wants to be done in a certain way, but they were not done in that way, and therefore he feels that, no, I'm not going to stay. And lastly, I also tend to think that it's about consolidating the Rift Valley voting bloc. How? You know, Raila Odinga has a clear strategy on how he was going to deal with the Rift Valley. Rift Valley, Raila Odinga is going to target the Kajiado, Narok, is going to target Turkana. Raila Odinga is also going to target Trans Nzoia, is also going to target Nakuru, is going to target West Pokot, and Laikipia. Now, by getting Kipruto Kirwa, Raila Odinga is actually solving part of that equation. And I also don't rule out the possibility of mistrust between Kipruto Kirwa and William Ruto. And that mistrust is actually dating back several years when these guys served as KANU members of parliament. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. Bye-bye.